All right, the watch list for Monday, November 7th. It's not going to be a very big list because, let's see, the FBI comes out now and says Hillary is whatever. And so now it looks like the market is probably going to gap up, and I am not going to spend hours looking at a bunch of charts when you're going to have possibly a big gap up in the morning. What I really need as a day trader is to get all this crap behind me, to get this freaking election over with, and I can get back to normal trading. Again, I'm just grinding my account higher a little bit at a time, lowering my daily goals right now because you've got the uncertainty of the election. And so until then, I'm just not going to kill myself putting together a list and looking at a bunch of charts, because charts don't really matter when the market gaps way up or way down or reacts to every little news headline and so on, right? So I have a theory that ever since World War II, each subsequent generation of Americans has said, I want my kids to have it better than I had. I want them to have it easier. And so each generation's just made it easier and easier on our children, which has culminated in the generation we have now who wants free college, free health care, free everything. They don't want to work for anything. They stand in the sidewalk. If you're white, you must walk around. It is the most privileged, entitled bunch of twits I have ever seen in my life. I call them the Nerf generation because they're so damn soft. And then this is where we are. So I really need to get this election behind me. Went out and bought myself a new Harley just to reward myself, because this has just been you can tell the entire country is stressed. You look on social media, people are losing friends. They're losing touch with family members over the division in this country right now. So it's just plumb stupid. I can't wait to get it behind us. Maybe one day I'll make a video just ranting about the left and all the crap they're putting out. And the sad thing is, they have such contempt for their own people that they don't even care how corrupt they are. They don't care about anything. They just know that if they open the borders, let people flood in, it'll just bring in more people to vote for them. And even though they're smart enough to know they're destroying our country, they don't care, because it's just more important to remain in power. And I'm going to write an essay called Goodbye America. If Hillary wins, I'll publish it. If not, there'll be a whole nother essay. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to go into my list. My wife always gets mad at me for being political at all on Twitter, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to retire from when this election's over and just focused on my job, which is what my wife says I should be doing all along. But it's just such a lousy time in this country. I can't help it. Can't help myself. I'm not going to lie to you. Also, you wonder if anyone has seen videos of what's going on in Europe when people say, "Oh no, we should just let everybody in." It's like, do they not see what's going on in Europe, or do they just not care? I can't get my head around it. I just can't get my head around it. But let's talk about stocks. If anyone is still listening, probably everybody's already turned off the video. SPY down, I think they said 9 days in a row. First time since 1980 or something like that. But I would expect a gap up on Monday morning, again, which is why not putting a lot into this watch list. But, down to the 200-day, it looks like we're probably going to gap up. So I've thrown a few together. First Solar, anytime you make a big move to get below recent lows, in this area below that line, if it gets there in a hurry like it did in 2 days, I like to look for a stock like this to snap back and give me a nice trade. Remember, I'm a day trader, so I'm looking for intraday setups based on daily charts to make some money that day. I'm in cash every night. So this is a good candidate for a nice snapback bounce. FSLR, NSPR, just a very low volume, narrow range day on Friday. It was on bounce watch, so I do like it over Friday's high now, over 230. That one, it traded, what was it? Almost 10 million shares 4 sessions ago. So I think this is a good candidate to pop back up. VRX, kind of the same thing, had this huge rally, very narrow range on Friday. So I think this one, it might be trying to put in a higher low and pop up on Monday. Watchers WTW gapped up and had a nice rally, but ended up giving back some of that during the day. So we'll just watch it for tomorrow. Maybe a red to green, something like that. Tesla got a nice bounce, but pretty choppy stock. But it is holding that support from here. Nice volume. Maybe a red to green, something like that in Tesla tomorrow. RLGY, nice volume spike and a pretty good pop. A lot of times when something makes a big move compared to most recent daily candles, I don't really want to trade it the next day, but maybe we get a low risk setup there. Smith & Wesson is sort of my, SWHC is sort of my election indicator. And every time this rallies, I figure there must be internal news that says looking like Hillary's going to win. And this thing rallied pretty nice on Friday. Maybe somebody knew something ahead of the announcement, right? But because I suspect, I suspect people are going to think that they're going to try to get rid of the Second Amendment, and Americans, aren't going to be able to have guns. So I suspect if she wins the election, I suspect Smith and Wesson, Ruger, and all those others are going to put in all-time record sales. I could be wrong, but that's sort of the feel I have for the country right now. So I'm going to watch this one, and you can see the volume it had on Friday. I'm going to watch this one for a possible long if it starts leaning that way again. Or just keep this one on watch. And then lastly, I have GoPro, GPRO. Let's go to the daily chart. Really nice pop after a huge gap down on Friday. As a matter of fact, Oki, one of our moderators in the chat room, called it long. Great idea. Basically looked like this. He called it long right in here, right about where my arrow is, and look at that rally. Ended up going up huge, and the stop stopped right about here. Never got even threatened to be hit. So really nice call. It did give back some, excuse me, in the afternoon, but with this kind of intraday move, I mean that's a short squeeze right there. It might continue or might get kind of motivated to move higher again on Monday. So that one goes on watch as well. We'll also be looking for gappers in the morning before the open. All right, so I'll leave it at that. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.